So, how are you? Where's your cup of tea?
I got coffee today.
Hmm.
I I slept late, so I'm still drinking coffee. And
Okay.
I thought I'd use the mic with a little my
Oh,
favorite
that's a
cow.
nice. It's a nice cup of tea. It's
Yeah,
a dairy
because you've
farm. Oh,
always
that's
got
lovely.
interesting.
That's
Well, you've always
lovely.
got interesting cups and teapots yourself. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I thought, why not? Cup of tea
yeah.
here. Let's cheers
What are
for.
you
No,
drinking? What
I'm
tea?
just having a normal cup of tea here,
Oh,
and of
okay.
course, uh, I said, why not come on and we have a bit of a chit chat
Yes,
about
yes.
this breaking royal news story here. Apologies, our dear friends in the comments. You have been waiting. We've been trying to set up, and it's taken a
Thank
bit of
you.
a while. Yeah, technology isn't always going our way, is it, Catherine?
I know, but when you think about it, when we were young children, I mean, yeah, I can't speak for you. You're much younger, but we didn't have anything like this. And if you made a phone call, you went to the phone on the wall.
Hmm.
You didn't have this kind of access, so we live with it, don't we? We
Yes, we
live we
do.
live with the tricky bits.
We do indeed. So,
Yeah.
how is Australia this very early morning? Is it okay?
Yeah, it was. I was out west yesterday. My son has his own business. It's a printing, direct to garment printing factory. So I was out there visiting him, and it was freezing. I was
Hmm.
freezing.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
wind, and then I came
Hmm.
home. And it must have been pretty bad here because we're near the coastal line here,
Hmm.
and quite a few of my really, really happy plants were blown over. So that's the weather. It's that time of year where it's quite unpredictable.
It is,
But
yes,
but we're
yeah.
not complaining. What about you? I mean,
Oh
you're
God,
heading
it
into winter.
yeah, the stakes are starting to shift very, very slowly here into winter
Yes.
time. But we can't complain. We had a fantastic winter, to be fair. Everybody on here from the UK will tell you that the summer was actually very lovely.
Oh, nice.
So the weather is starting to drift into those, winter cold nights. And we are not very much looking forward to it. But what can we do? It's the season. Each single one of us here would like to be somewhere in Australia because it's always singing and
Anywhere
dancing
but
where you are.
Victoria. Anywhere
Yes.
but Victoria.
Yeah.
It's very unstable at the moment,
Yeah.
Victoria. Yeah.
Hmm. So, Catherine, trending royal news story here. The royal family, via their main platform, the Instagram, have
I
obviously
know.
celebrated Prince Harry's milestone 40th birthday by putting a statement of celebrations. Now, this has, of course, divided people's opinions. I've never seen anything like this in the comments section that has been posted along the thread on the Instagram account of the royal family, with many thinking, Hmm.
It's
Was
odd.
it was it
I was
was it a good
shocked.
move, or this is another PR blunder? What is going on
No,
here?
no, they don't do anything by mistake.
Mhm.
The royal family at times, when I say they don't do anything by mistake, they think about their moves, right?
Mm,
I'm just going to
mm,
turn on my backlight, but they think about their moves, and
mm,
I was shocked. And then the whales came out. The whales
mm,
came out, and they echoed it.
mm,
I was really that really took my breath away. Then we see in the weekend papers this article about Harry being more popular than the king. Blah, blah,
mm,
blah, blah. Rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. We know different. Especially after the Hollywood report that's come out about the Sussex and their staff. But
mm,
I've got to say, I'm going to use one of my favorite words, girls. I'm aghast. I'm just aghast
mm,
because I found it shocking. It's gone from the king not taking his calls to now wishing him happy birthday.
Mm,
What did they think they were going to get backlash if they hadn't said anything?
mm,
I
mm,
think that they've created more controversy
mm, mm,
actually wishing him happy birthday. I don't know. What was that was my first reaction. I just stepped back and thought, wow, wow. And because it was then echoed by the whales, then, that's when I was aghast.
mm,
But I was really taken aback and I thought, no, there's something going on here. So
mm,
they are, remember when Princess Diana, she was, died the way she did. We all know the story. But afterward, it's well known and it's reported in books and articles. King Charles just went on the offensive in terms of moving Camilla back into the public eye. It took a long time and they were very successful at
mm,
doing so because now she has a degree of popularity. She's standing in her own right to some
mm,
degree, right?
mm,
Because it's
mm,
Camilla. She's never going to be fully, completely
mm,
accepted. I thought of that. At first, my breath was taken away, and then my mind went to the very strategic PR campaign to rehabilitate Camilla's image. And that's what I thought of when I saw this. And I
mm.
thought, wow. Now, the rights and wrongs of it and the nuance of it is another discussion, right? But that's what I think is really going on here. The king wants him back.
Mm, mm, mm. I think you're very right there in saying that that this took everybody by surprise.
Mm.
And actually, when you look at the comments posted on that thread, everyone is like, "What? Oh my God!" So we've never seen anything like this. Uh, because the royal family, obviously, from reading around and what we know, is that they haven't been in any meaningful reconciliatory talks with, okay, Harry. So nobody expected or thought that this post was going to be made or Harry was going to appear on a working royal platform in the way that he has today. The last time he appeared was um, shortly before they left as working royals, so we haven't seen Harry appear anywhere on there. Okay. So it took very many people by surprise. But like LC in the comments here says that, we have this very, very insightful audience. So he says, no, they always send birthday wishes to
Okay.
non-working royals on milestone birthdays. Now,
Hi,
it's,
SB.
yeah. Hi, Els. It's good you highlight this because I said this in a video I posted a little earlier. You realize that each time we go live, I have a video that has just been posted a few minutes ago. So, in that video, actually, I touched something of a sort, finishing off that previously through the royal policies and writings they made it clear that okay they will not be celebrating royal family birthdays of royal family members who are not working royals on the website or on the platforms Instagram, Twitter, unless these were milestone birthdays. Okay, so they have posted Prince Harry on his 40th, so that is a milestone birthday. And so I think this was a royal family going through
The
its
motions.
policies. Yeah,
Yeah.
acting on its policies. Because if they had not done that, guess what? People might have again said that double standards. Why haven't they, featured Prince Harry's birthday? Because don't forget, as much as Prince Harry is acting in the way he is, he still has his fans there who are constantly looking at these events and would want to see something done correctly with regards to celebrating Harry's birthday. And the royal family has gone through that process. They've featured his birthday, I think, as a way of going through the policies in place that milestone birthdays for non-working royals will be shouted out. So this is a 40th. Maybe the next time we see another birthday of Prince Harry being shouted out is when he gets to 50, 60, and so forth. Okay?
Except Aspie actually asks a very good question, which
Mm,
is it sort of follows up what I this is what I because I actually think the king wants him back. That's my feeling. She asks, do you think this is SBRN1? Do you think
mm,
these articles were put out with the help of King Charles? So we're talking about the articles, right? With the help of King Charles to let the public know Harry will be eventually coming back to the UK and the public will have to suck it up. I actually think so.
mm,
You can't persuade me otherwise because
mm,
Charles
mm,
has form in this area. Now, the rights and wrongs of it are another matter. Okay, the ethical and moral questions around that, and then the PR, um, the PR what's the word I'm looking for? Just the PR sensibility and overarching PR strategy.
mm,
I just think the king is worried sick about his son, and they're over. Now, whether they
mm,
get divorced or not remains to be seen, but they're over. It's done because he snubbed her in his birthday message. Harry did. He didn't even mention Meghan, just went on
mm,
about his children and went on his messianic diatribe, I want to be a force for good in the world, blah, 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 just go suck an egg, Harry. Um, I think Aspie's right. I think
mm,
that look out because the king is facing his mortality. And when you're facing your mortality, there are more pressing things than like the business, what the business. There really is, it's the truth. And I think that's the public are going to have to suck it up. I think the mistake is Harry's not ready for any rehabilitation. Camilla's a different story. She wasn't a pothead or a coke addict, you
mm,
know. She was his mistress, and marriages break down through infidelity and for all sorts of reasons. And infidelity and affairs are not out of the ordinary in aristocratic circles. That's different. Harry's mentally ill. He is really disturbed. And we
mm,
saw, she's no different. We saw her reaction when Oprah came in and eclipsed her appearance at that book event. She was sticking her tongue out like a lizard and she had all these tics and really strange and odd. That's all from coke use. All of that dry mouth, cotton mouth, they call it. I've seen it myself before, So they are really sick puppies. But Harry cannot come home through just a PR exercise alone. He has to go into deep rehabilitation, and that could take years. He has to go into detox, and that's very painful, and it has to be under medical attention. He has to go into a detox unit. Then he has to go into a rehabilitation program and usually away from your family. You're taken away from your family for about a year. I can't see him agreeing to any of this.
mm,
I
mm,
can't see it. But to your point, I don't think they had any choice because what are we complaining about? Oh, they never send Catherine any good wishes on her recovery, any sad wishes when things are not going well. They don't send anything like that at all. So I don't think, I think you're right. I think you're right. They had to go through the protocol, but I do think there's more going on.
And it's so painful, I know, for many people to see because they would have loved to really see the royal family getting really tight on Harry to to try and get him to reflect on his motives and his way of going about his activities out there. So this message would have caught very many people off guard. And looking at the comments section there, it was very
It's
clear.
interesting. Yeah.
Yes, very clear that people were a little bit unsure of this move. But the royal family, I think, had to take the difficult decision. As always, these matters surrounding Prince Harry are always going to be very difficult. And I know that the policy suggests, the only time you celebrate a non-working royal's birthday using a working platform like that of the royal family, has to be done during a milestone birthday. But even people still think that Prince Harry was not deserving of this. He wasn't deserving because um, Spare, we know all of these projects. Now he's back, is it the hard copy or whatever, paperback copies is still going as planned. It will be released, all of which seems like it is cementing what he has already said about the royal family. So you can't say that, he had put a stop on his activities. However, what we can say may be another reason for this being celebrated in the way it has is that maybe these regular flybacks of Prince Harry and the phone calls wanting to speak to his father. And the other day we read a story of wanting to go through Catherine, Princess of Wales. Okay, maybe behind the scenes there have been some form of conversations taking place that might have softened this ground a little bit. Okay, to warranting Prince Harry such a kind gesture. This is a family, just like any other family. So they have their problems, and this Prince Harry is a very big problem. I know it's a very, very big
Yes. Yeah.
problem. And this would cause, and I think they prepared themselves in a way or the other. And maybe they sat together as a unit and agreed upon this decision before throwing it out there. So whichever way it was, it must have been a very, very difficult decision that they made. Okay. King Charles, on the other side, is a father to Harry. He loves his son just like he does with Prince William. He has shown signs of, okay, wanting to keep one line open for Prince Harry. Okay. So does that surprise us that he shares this news through the royal family website, Instagram account, King Charles and Camilla's Instagram account? It doesn't surprise us at all because maybe he wanted to be seen as the father who is still very much wanting, to celebrate milestones like these for his, children. But the problem with that is that you risk running out, you risk losing the support you have from the fans out here of the royal family because this Prince Harry issue is an issue beyond the family. It is a countrywide Commonwealth issue. Whatever he has done, the projects allegedly have gone beyond just demoralizing, okay, the royal family, I think, to the Commonwealth at large. So
I agree.
if you're going to make decisions like these based on you as an individual and forgetting that actually this platform is a government, is a Commonwealth platform, okay, then you risk losing that support. And we know how much the royal family thrives from support from people like us out here, the Commonwealth, and that sort of thing. Um, but the final decision and call still remains with the royal family, with hope that what they have, I mean, the call they've made is one that was really, really thought through. Okay.
Well, you with William and Catherine, and you know what I'm talking about when I make this point. You hear different media commentators. I'm talking about in the media, not in the YouTube um, ecosystem. They all say it's up to William. It's up to William to reach out. It's up to William to do this. It's like William. What the heck has William done except being born the first, right?
Mm,
Um, so I feel, in some respect, this move on his part disarms that because they're
mm,
never ever going to be able to put the full blame at William's feet that he never reached out to his brother, and it disarms that camp of
mm,
criticism.
mm. But also there have been, I agree with what you're saying there, Catherine. And to add on to that, I was looking at the comments and people were said, well, William and Catherine have not shared this on their page. They've only shared it as a story from the
Yes,
royal
yes,
family website. So really, this is not something that is showing us directly that, okay, maybe reconciliation between William and Harry is going to take place following this. People are saying no, it isn't, because William had to share this from the royal family because he has to support a decision taken by his father as the king. Okay.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So he had to put that in his stories, as we have seen. But Prince William and Catherine have not made this as actually bigger post for the day for them to share it via there. Okay. So this
Yeah.
is squashing all those questions that have been coming up with regards to whether this is now going to start laying the steps towards reconciliation between Harry and his brother William. It isn't, in my opinion, I think it's still far from that,
Oh, a long
especially,
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially as these projects on the other side of Harry and Meghan are still carrying on. Okay. Until we see that, you know, apology coming from that side to William and Catherine, and then that stop being put on those projects that are, allegedly haunting the royal family and the British public. I don't think this here is starting any meaningful steps towards reconciliation.
No, no, it's got to go a lot further than that. And it begins with Harry anyway. It actually all
Mm,
begins with him. And if that article saying, oh my gosh, you can't make this crap up, that he's more
mm,
popular stateside than the king. Oh, come on, people are reading the Hollywood Reporter, and that's actually the Hollywood Bible, that outlet, and they're scathing about the mainly Meghan, but he
mm,
is an enabler. He enables her, and there's no way he can come back. Number one, in the condition, the mental and physical condition he's in, but secondly, there's no way he can come back with her in his life because while she's there, he's never going to win any kudos from any family members. They'll freeze him out. He'll never be privy to any real royal life. He's
mm,
as they say, the technical term is, he might return to the family, but he will be persona non grata. That's
mm,
it.
mm,
It
mm,
begins with Harry. It all begins with Harry. Now, they've been very gracious, and it was good you pointed out about that because the stories are your B-roll. So it's good you pointed out, and it's not a foundation mark on their Instagram page, their overall Instagram system. There isn't any um, system there, any post there that can take root.
mm, mm,
It's not
mm,
going to come up like a big plant in their
mm,
Instagram system, which is pretty smart on their part.
mm. Well said there, Catherine. Very, very well
Mm.
said. And I've also seen other people saying, okay, so this is the royal family taking the high road.
Yeah.
They couldn't have been right, any more right than they were. Because what we are seeing now with this post, especially, and how the royal family has been dealing with this Prince Harry Meghan Markle issue, because it's a
Mm.
big, big issue. We won't deny that.
It's not
Very big
going away.
problem.
Mm.
It's not going away. It is puzzling everybody.
Yeah.
If it puzzles us the way it is, then it must even be puzzling those inside us three
Yeah.
times more. But that high road perspective people are
Yeah.
talking about that the royal family took, I think makes a lot of sense because
Mm.
the royal family would like to show what they call dignity. Okay.
Yes.
Dignity with responding the way they handle this Meghan and Harry issue. Okay. And what Prince Harry has always been doing against the royal family is what many out there have always been describing as not being classy. Okay, not classy at all.
Oh,
Because you can't just go out there and start doing all of those things that are demeaning and demoralizing the family that made you who you are today. So his projects have always been seen as not being classy. Now, what the royal family has done today is what many have called classy. Okay, very, very classy. An act of genius to try and
mm,
show Prince
mm.
Harry and all of these followers and the Sussexes who are always making this noise. Oh, you've treated him like that. He's the outsider now. You know, this message is sending that big message out there that we are not the family that Harry always preaches out there. We are a good family. We are very, very loving and caring. And we have even reminded ourselves of this Prince Harry's 40th milestone birthday, and we are celebrating it here regardless of how he has been painting that picture of us out there. And that is really, really a very good way of going about resolving problems. Okay. Fight
Oh,
back.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Fight back with goodness.
Yes. Yes.
Fight
Yeah.
back
Well,
with kindness.
it's
Okay.
it's biblical, put coals of hot fire on your enemy's
Exactly.
head,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and they'll be ashamed. And it's very difficult to do.
It's
You can
very
only
difficult
do
to
that
do.
when
Yeah.
you've dealt with your own
Yeah.
whatever it is that's upset you over what they've done. You have to deal with that first. Then you
Yes.
can do it. But you have
Yes.
to do it. And they are setting the tone.
Yeah, they are setting the tone. And what we should not forget as well is that King Charles is a very, very is has a lot of faith. He's a Christian man, if I must say that.
Mm,
And we know
mm.
he has this good relationship with, the Archbishop Justin Welby, of Canterbury, all these faith leaders, especially within the Anglican Church, who are also part of the advisory team with regards to how the royal family moves forward with this big problem here. So, this, from a Christian point of view, is letting us to think that okay, this could have been a royal family saying, right, treat your enemies with kindness, show them good love, with hope that this will help change their behavior.
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
what we are seeing now. This should be a big, big moment for Harry to reflect and say, right, this is a family that is wishing me everything, kindness. And going forward, this might probably
Oh,
help
have you
Harry
just
to,
seen have
yeah.
you just seen this comment? Stedman's going. Bye
Mm-hmm.
everyone. Going to watch the news about an assassination, another assassination attack on Trump. Boy, oh boy. Well, you know what that's
Oh,
going to do? That's going to put Harry's birthday down to the bottom of the
oh, go.
pile. Thank God. Sorry, Mr.
What? So
President. Sorry.
he's off
Yeah.
to watch another assassination on Trump.
There's
A
another asset. Yeah. So
oh,
there go the Harkles. There they
oh.
go. Thank
Okay.
God.
So hope this will try and swerve that sort of traffic away from this and take it to But you've seen what I was trying to say there,
Sorry about
Catherine,
that.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Sorry.
mm, mm.
Continue. Yeah.
Yeah. So this hopefully will help Prince Harry to see how the family here loves him, and this will actually also put some sense in him that whatever he's going out there saying about his family here, is rubbish. He needs to reflect on that. Okay. But what do you, my dear friends, think in the comments section below here? Let me see. Tigan says, has everyone got their popcorn ready for the divorce as soon as the inheritance money has gone? The divorce.
You're right, Tegan. You're right, because it's
Mm,
available to him now, and
mm,
it's a substantial sum of money.
it
Um,
is.
but I don't know who it was. I think it might have been it was Anna.
Okay.
She believes that the palace did the right thing because the what they've done is
Mm, mm,
the sugars have
yeah.
got no fuel. They would have had a
Mm,
lot of fuel if the palace hadn't said anything.
mm.
So it's a good point, Anna.
Yeah, very, very good point here because they've now kept silent, and we
Mm.
know how they were going around spreading all this. Because can you imagine the hate they threw at Catherine during those very challenging times, and how William and Catherine have handled that situation, and the royal family very well hereby not showing any aggressiveness against whatever they did, but only kindness to the side that hasn't been very good to them. Okay. So that is really, really good to see. And hope this message here is really going to send that message of reflection in Harry's mind that yes, you need to think twice about your actions because the family here thinks about you differently than how you're painting its picture out there. But it's also very interesting, Catherine. Allow me to touch on this. So they share this single picture of Prince Harry smiling, okay, very smiley, very happy, okay. That photo in itself sends tons and tons of messages out there. Here is
Yes.
a family telling us, real family telling us that this is the Harry that used to be the days he was still working for the royal, okay. It's very happy, very smiley, very bright, a positive image here we show. This is the image we still celebrate here, as opposed to what he is now, if that makes sense.
Well, I was taken by that photo. I was
Yes.
taken because it's lovely, and you look back on those memories and it just tugs at your heart.
Hmm. And the other thing as well, Catherine, thank you, before I forget, was yesterday. No, the day before yesterday, I was talking to one of the boys, and we were talking about this Prince Harry's birthday, which was going to come back here today, and say, what would be Harry's wish, on his birthday? And surprisingly, he said to me, his wish would be the royal family highlighting his birthday via the
Oh,
royal family website. That Harry
mm.
would love that. And if the royal family does that, trust me, we are going to see transformative changes occur in Prince Harry as an individual. And
Oh,
so this could be very right. Okay, so this
oh,
could be the start of a Harry who will then, in a few coming weeks, months, start to want to come back and settle here, come back and live here, announce that, you know what, I don't think projects in the United States are for me. And the path I took, I don't think it is the right path for me. This is where I belong. So this message here could also be a message preparing for the return of Harry here, not in a royal capacity, that is going to be allowed in to work as a royal, because I think that is still a long way to go and that trust has to be built first. But it sends out a bit of a message there that there
Yes.
could be an aspect of a return in some capacity here. Okay, either
Yeah.
to start his cleanup process, rehabilitation process, because he won't just return and be allowed to be anywhere near them. He will have to go through a full scale cleanup process. Like you said that, I remember you've said that. Okay, so that's how I'm seeing this, the implication of this message. Okay. So, but what is the mood in Australia, Catherine? Are people talking about this where you are? Because Australia is a big player here when it comes to these stories.
Well, in the beginning, Harry and Meghan had a lot of empathy from the average bear on the street. They did, but it just eroded. It eroded over time, and the media were onto them pretty quickly after their royal tour because of their behaviour. Uh, but I'm surprised at the antipathy towards those two from young people. I'm talking about young people, and there's either they either can't be bothered, they're bored with them, which is worse. That's actually, you want people to feel something because if they feel something, they're invested in it, and you can then perhaps persuade them to another point of view. But if people are disinterested and bored, that's you can't. That's like trying to put life into a dead body, you know. So people are either bored with them or they can't stand them. You know, there's the middle ground. But I heard a group of young students, they were young girls, they were walking behind me. So I slowed down because I could hear them, you know.
Hmm.
And oh my God, they didn't have a good word to say about Megan at all. And
Hmm.
Megan had a lot of support in that group of young people. That's why I think Catherine is the secret sauce to winning back some support for the royal family because
Hmm.
of her journey, her health journey. I think that she can connect with some of those younger people. But Harry and Meghan, and I'll be honest, I'm going, you asked me, I think if there is a move to try and bring him back into the fold, it won't be well received by Australians. And I think it's a very delicate balance here in Australia because I've been reading some articles online in relation to the up and coming royal tour, and it's mixed. And it's mixed. And it's only because we haven't had a tour in a long time, and I think it's about 6 years since Charles and Camilla have been here. And he's had 16 visits here, Charles.
Hmm.
1966 was his first visit to Australia. So I don't think it'll go down well. I
Hmm.
don't, you know,
Hmm.
it's going to be very delicate.
Hmm.
And I can't speak for other countries, but Australians don't like BS, you know.
Hmm.
They don't like BS. And
Hmm.
Harry and Meghan are just full of it.
Well, I already see, Sky News Australia, they don't agree with Harry and Meghan and their behavior, and they're always constantly calling them out for their behavior. So this story would be one that is going to be very, very highly analyzed by Sky News Australia. We are keeping our eyes on to see what will come out of their analysis. But you make a very, very good point there. I don't think uh, Harry, Meghan Markle could find their way back in with how they have now been really erased out of the bigger picture. Okay, and this Harry we are seeing trying to come back, and these messages, okay, messages that are on that level now. They are looking at him at that level of, okay, he's a son of the king, he's a brother to the future king. He was once loved, yes, but now this is the sort of Harry we have at the minute. We can't even think of looking at Harry as somebody who can come in and be allowed to become a working royal again. So I don't think this is going to make any meaningful changes with regards to Prince Harry moving forward with coming back to work as a serving royal. And
Okay.
Baby Boxer here makes a very, very good point. I don't think it will change Harry's behavior along him with his wife. I think that's spot on. For as long as he's gonna be with Meghan, we know there isn't anything meaningful that will come out of those two in relation to coming to work for the royal family. Okay. Um, but it is, of course, a big, big story today. It caught everybody by surprise.
Mm.
The Sussexes, the that camp, that side of it, of course, have also been taken by surprise because they have always preached this message of they don't like him, they've made him an outsider, or the racism is too much, all of that sort of thing. So today, the royal family answered them back. The royal family wants to do these things in a way that is going to be very, so they have acted very subtly in a way that has brushed off these people's intentions. But we are not forgetting that this is still a family. They are celebrating a birthday of one of theirs. It's a milestone birthday. So they've put troubles and all of those things, problems aside, and celebrated it. And it doesn't necessarily mean, the way I'm looking at it, that it's the Harry Meghan problem is over. If at all, it is actually going to open up another can of worms with, how have they handled it? Okay, the inconsistencies are starting to show. One minute they don't talk to him or do anything with him. The other minute they are celebrating his birthday. What is actually going on? So those inconsistencies are probably going to be pronounced more. But on the inside, looking at this story, okay, the way I look at it, it was just a story to celebrate a milestone of this young man.
Mm.
And we hope if there is anybody who is going to take a lot out of this, it should be Prince Harry himself in a way of reflecting upon his behavior to try and change and start looking at this family as the first family that he belongs to.
Well,
Okay.
when you look at that article that was in the paper, it was a large spread with a picture of Harry, and the claim is he's more popular stateside than the King. Yeah, I mean, I also, one of my first thoughts was, well, that looks good. I saw the post. I'd already seen the article, but I saw the post, the birthday wish, and it is a beautiful photo. But I think it's Tegan said they think Megan was cut out of that photo.
Mm,
That's priceless if that's the case. But I thought to myself, here's your family wishing you happy birthday. You probably weren't expecting them to say anything. And now there's an article coming out of your camp. It's coming out of uh, Harry's camp that Harry is more popular in America than the King. And the King's just wished you happy birthday. Oh, loser. That's what that spells to me. It's just like on one of those game shows where they press the buzzer because you got the answer wrong. That's what
mm,
I hear in my head. I hear, yeah, wrong answer. So I just thought, oh God, Harry, what can you look like a bigger loser than right now? So so you're quite right. I bring that up only to your point about they've taken the high ground and no one can criticize them over this. You're right, Francis.
it's the high ground, and
Yeah.
it's being class. It's being very, what should I say, loving and kind, even to those that don't treat them well. It is going to be very interesting to see how Harry and Meghan move forward following this this birthday celebration here from the royal family uh, Instagram account. Are they going to continue with their narratives? Okay, because that's now this is the royal family placing Prince Harry right in that position of, okay, this is a self check for you. Let's see how you move forward with those projects. Is he going to go on with that campaign of blackmailing and whinging and crying, they don't love me, that negativity with we see in their projects? Or this is a Harry now going forward that is going to reflect upon this message and start actually doing good, start sitting in those interviews and talk about how the royal family is kind, loving. They even celebrated my birthday. We would like to see him talk about that out there, because that is going to be the thing that many people will start to see. That's going to be how. That's how people will start to think differently of Prince Harry. Okay, because what we are looking at in Harry is a person who is not being grateful. Okay, if that's
Oh,
the word. Yeah.
he's
Mm-hmm.
just so ungrateful. You know, I I noted last week that the president of Nigeria met with King Charles, and I saw photos of them shaking hands. And it occurred to me, I thought, how would King Charles feel? Would this meeting still be taking place if they hadn't received Harry when they went to Nigeria? If they had treated him shabbily? They didn't give them the full royal treatment. It was a pretty shabby tour. I mean, even even when they put the coral necklace over Harry, they were pulled out of a white plastic shopping bag, you know. So it's so unroyal, you know. If that was being presented to the king, it would have been in an exquisite satin lined jewelry case, you know, and you take it out and you put on the king. It was taken out of a plastic bag. But it did occur to me, I thought, how would the king have felt if they hadn't received his son, even though he's a total little beep, 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 right? He's just, it wouldn't have been good. It wouldn't have been good. You know, Harry puts a lot of people in a very awkward position because, and it was Kinsey Schofield last week. She said, when
Mm,
someone by the name, her last name's Frankel, came out and went off on Meghan and Harry after the Oprah interview, she'd been called, she received a call afterward from some big celebrity, probably from the same talent agency, right?
mm,
And she was raked over the coals and she had to come out and apologize. It was like that for 24 months afterward. You couldn't speak a word against them for
mm.
24 months.
Month.
But now look at the Hollywood Reporter has just, and they tweeted it 4 times. That article
Mm,
tweeted it 4 times on their Twitter, on their X stream. So, you know, Harry is the son, the king's son. He is the king's son, and the king has to behave like a king in this situation.
mm,
Tegan makes a very good point. She's saying a lot of people are speculating that the king is sicker than we really know. Well, we'll never really know.
mm,
Um, but elderly people can live a long time with cancer.
mm,
So
mm,
the king is going to do kingly things, but he's also
mm,
going to be a father, and the public needs to adjust to that. That's
mm,
my view. And I've lost a child to drugs, and he was on drugs for many, 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 many years. It's
mm,
ghastly, and you're constantly walking a fine line between boundaries.
mm,
and your own sanity, because it nearly killed me, and our family hasn't been the same after
mm,
his
mm,
passing, his death. But
mm,
the king is the father, and
mm,
I think look, when I saw it,
mm,
you could have knocked me over with a feather.
mm,
You just could have knocked me over with a feather. But I don't know who said, "Oh, it's Tegan." She said, "Yes, but the reel
mm.
on the William and Catherine Instagram didn't have the usual W and C. It's been
Yeah,
put up there by the staff."
yeah, yeah. So it is very tricky there. It's hard to
Yes.
really see whether this was something that William and Catherine had 100% set out to do. Okay, so for me, I looked at it through the was it their status? They just pop up for a few seconds and it
Yes. Yes.
disappears. So clearly, it wasn't very qualifying a post for William and Catherine to sit in the general posts area. I don't think they would have wanted to give Harry that platform. Okay, fully. Okay. But you're
Yeah.
very right in what you're saying
Clever.
there, Catherine. Very, very right. This is the king, this is the father. So, father and son, in times of thick and thin, the father will always look at the son in the same way. Okay, many would argue, including yourselves, ourselves here, that,
Yeah,
the
we
king,
do. We've got our
yeah,
opinions.
absolutely. That the king is now at that time where he's choosing unity more than disunity. So he would like to do take these little gestures and simple things. He would like to take those steps to try and see that unity prevail. Okay, when he is still the king, the father in charge. Because when he goes, if William sits on that throne, this this could be a different story. We all know that. Okay.
I think so. I don't think anything's going to change with William.
Exactly. But also the other thing I've been picking up on, I've been reading around quite a lot, is the recent celebrations video of William and Catherine. Okay. Many people are now have said that, okay, so the Waleses are now starting to look at life very differently, especially after coming through that health scare. They are now just reflecting on so many things, and they think, this rift between them and Harry, Meghan is pointless. We've been through a lot, and life is too short to dwell on this. So could this have been put up as a way of the Wales is saying, right, moving forward, I think we are wanting to sort of try and get rid of this problem there and just be one again, because there is no point of this rift being here. Life is so short, too short for us to dwell in that. So there have been people who have raised debates around that concept, that line of thought. And at this point, it would be very, very, very tempting to qualify that line of thought.
Oh, look, you're quite right. I
Yeah.
like listening to the way you put that there, because one thing I will say for you is you really have a knack of decoding their language, because they say, oh, the palace won't comment, they won't speak, they won't say, but they actually do. They do.
Mm,
They do
mm,
it through their actions. They do it through um, moves like this. William and Catherine didn't put their W and C up there. They
mm,
just they allowed the, because it wouldn't have gone up there unless it had been cleared with William and Catherine.
mm,
But they did. They've put. I like the way you've analysed that, because they have. They said, "Look, we're moving forward. We're not holding on to this. Because you can't when you face that kind of devastating illness. You realise you need to keep your heart light, You need
mm,
to keep your spirit light. You can't be burdened down with grudges and resentment because they do make you sick. You can't be
mm,
burdened by that. But you also have very, very strong boundaries, and you will not allow certain activity around you anymore because you have to
mm.
keep that negativity out. And
Yes.
that's why I don't think there's ever a chance with Harry again, particularly after I was thinking a lot about this over the weekend, particularly the way Harry went into the media and spoke about this is really dirty play. And he
Mm,
said, "Oh, I really want to be there for my nieces and nephews, so that they don't fall into the same trap of being, all of the hazards that I faced being a spare." That is really dirty play. And don't think, I don't think William will ever forget that. And
mm,
I think with that move, Harry cooked his goose.
Very well said there, Catherine.
Mm,
Very, very well
mm,
said. And like we said earlier, this all fracas we are saying with this
yeah.
post coming up and all of the controversies we are seeing right now,
Mm, mm,
it is really Prince Harry. If anybody is to take away something great from this, it is
mm,
going to be Prince Harry.
mm.
And because the royal family, you know, isn't coming and putting posts out there because they are seeking sympathy or they are on their knees begging for Harry to return, and they are very desperate to have these relationships repaired, whichever way we want them to be. The royal family is only exercising their right here, and they are going
Mm,
through or following through the principles of the
mm,
royal family, celebrate milestone birthdays for non-working royals on the platform.
mm.
Other than that, other birthdays will always never be shouted out.
That's
Okay.
right.
So we are really, really believing in that, and we think it is the major reason they celebrated Prince Harry's milestone birthday. But Harry has to actually take that as an honor because again the royal family could have easily non-celebrated than milestone birthday because of what Harry has been doing. Okay, and that would be absolutely fine. Everybody would say fine, we agree with you. I think that's the right thing to do. He's done heartache, okay, heartache to the royal family. But the royal family followed through their principles, so it is really, really hard to take away something great from this, and it is going to be him to start reflecting on his upcoming activities. He will be very, very ungrateful if he carries on with the Netflix documentaries with that narrative of whinging and okay victimizing himself, because clearly what we have seen through this message, that is not right. Prince Harry is actually being recognized here. Okay, they still welcome him in the way we have seen him, being pinned up on this milestone birthday wishes. And now again, this could become another tug of war for Meghan there with Harry. Because if Harry start pulling out over those, because we know how Meghan is still in that place and still driving forward those projects that are not, in tune with the royal family. So I'm seeing a Harry who is going to go back with a different mindset and who is going to start saying no to Meghan Markle. Moving forward, I don't think that's the path I should take. Look what we have been always, fighting against. They are actually people who think about us in a positive way. So this could start a series of arguments on their
Mm,
in their household, with Harry saying no to anything that will be coming up that will be shunning the royal family. Okay. So as we said earlier, I think this is going to put Prince Harry in a predicament with how he moves forward with these projects. Choose to accept gratefulness or disregard this gratefulness and go ahead with your mad campaigns there. And that will be a Prince Harry finished, wouldn't it?
Oh, he would be throwing. I mean, this is a huge gift that's been handed to him over his birthday. It's
Mm,
quite a gift that the king led, and then um, the Wales followed with their protocol as they saw fit. And he will be seen as the niggly, ungrateful, jealous person he is. As for Meghan, if what we saw at that book event is anything to go by, she's a mess. She
mm,
is an absolute mess. And she is really unstable.
mm,
So they are both unstable, but Harry needs to think very carefully how he moves forward after this. I don't look. I actually don't hold out a lot of hope. I don't think much is going to change, but I think what it is going to do is destabilize Megan even more because
mm,
she doesn't know how to cope with this. She doesn't know how to respond to this. She only knows one way. She only knows one way, whereas this requires a really nuanced response from the Sussexes. It really does. But she only knows one way. So they'll be seen to be really nasty characters if they proceed the way, their predictable way, you know?
mm, mm. I've seen a message here from Rosie Cottage. I've put it up on the wall there. Can you see it, Catherine? So I'm trying to write it in the comments here.
Oh, yeah,
Mm,
she's asking
mm,
for my channel. It's
yes.
a royal iota,
Okay.
a royal, just one word, no underscores or anything, a lowercase, a royal, and it's iota, IOTA. And I
Yes.
deliberately chose that, because it's sort of like small little mustard seed on the internet. So it's just one word, lowercase, a royal iota. Thanks,
Yeah.
thanks very much for asking. It's really kind.
Thank you.
Francis, I got 25 new subs as a result of your post on your wall the other day. He went in. Oh, he's such a darling. He went in and he said, "You've got to follow Catherine. She's not far away from 1,000." And over 25 of you did, because I went and I did the numbers this morning, girls. He's such a
Yes.
darling, and this is why we love our Francis, isn't it?
Thank you so much. We are keeping
Yeah.
our eyes on that channel. We want it to grow and grow and grow because we want to start doing live streams on your channel too. Not
We
that
will.
we
I'm
can't
getting
do
no,
now, but we
no,
will.
no, no, no.
It will be very practical, when you get to the 1,000, and
Yeah,
then we can
yeah.
ramp it up more. I have written the channel name here in the comments, Rosie, if you
Thank
can
you.
see it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Arroyo Iota. Is it, have I missed an A? There is Arroyo Iota, isn't it? I'll write
Yeah,
it
it's
again.
a royal.
At
Because,
A
I am
Royal
royal too.
Iota. Yeah,
Iota. A
yeah,
royal iota.
yeah.
Because we're all royalty, darlings. We're all royalty.
I have. Yeah, I have put that in the comments again. But
Yeah.
thank you so much, our dear friends. You are making a difference, turning up to these live streams every day. As
Oh, thanks,
Tegan,
Rosie.
Sam, Rosie, Baby Boxer. You guys are so awesome.
Beautiful.
Very
Yeah.
beautiful. Comments like these are helping us to drive these engagements forward. Kathy, Stedman, thank you for
Thank you,
feeding
baby
us in,
boxer.
Stedman,
I love
for
I
feeding
love
us
that
in.
baby
Yeah,
boxer.
yeah. We have a very, very Sheila Kelly here. Uh, we are so, so lucky to have all of you here. Teresa,
They're
uh,
pretty loyal.
very loyal, very, very loyal. This is what we love. And you know what? When we come here and react to stories like this, not that we don't want uh, to see things like this happen. Okay, we all wish Prince Harry a fabulous 40th birthday. Okay, and the royal family did just great to shout out this birthday because Prince Harry is still one of theirs. He's still one of ours. He was
Well,
once the
that's
most loved
right.
royal. The Queen loved Prince Harry so much. So this is the right thing to do. Okay, it's the monarch. They make these decisions. We trust them to sit in those meetings and debate upon these issues before they actually launch them. So we won't sit here and cry about it that much, okay? We are giving our opinions, okay? In my sense, way of looking at it, I would have made this a background thing, okay? I would have sent these messages in the background because I still don't
I
think
would have.
Harry
Yeah,
qualifies to sit on this channel, to sit on the
yeah.
royal family Instagram accounts, these working accounts, because he doesn't deserve it based on what he has done. Uh,
I
oh,
agree. I would have
yes.
been discreet, but we're not in that same position. That's a
Mm,
very rarefied
yeah,
environment.
yeah,
It's different even to the same. It's different to the environment that politicians live in. The royal environment is unlike any, unless you've been
yeah.
exposed to it. You have no idea.
Mm,
I would have handled it very differently, but on the family side of things, though, I fully understand where the king's coming from.
mm,
It's he's a father, and all these years he's been blamed for the death of his mother, and I don't know how the king's done it, to be honest. I think
mm,
about that. I think that's a huge spectre that he's lived under his through, and now he's still carrying it through his reign as a king. But I'm with you on this, Francis. Privately, I would have handled it differently, but they've handled it the way they have. And I'm glad we've had this live, Francis, because we've really had to unpack it for ourselves to understand it.
exactly, exactly. Now, you see, baby boxer, yes, I think the royal family took the safest route with the Instagram post. Voice video call would have been manipulated by the grifters.
And Lisa says, I have no problem telling some jerk happy birthday. Jerks, yeah, all the jerks in the world, happy birthday, you jerks.
Yeah. I think the palace did the right thing because now the sugars have no fuel. Oh wow, that's correct there, isn't it?
Yes,
They've
yes, yeah,
disarmed all the sugars. Okay.
yeah. It's true.
So
It's true. Look, it took our
yeah.
breath away, but what are we going to do? Harry is just. I don't think much is going to change. I think Meghan will become unhinged though, because
Yeah.
she'll be losing her grip on Harry over this. See, they put a wedge in.
And like we said, Catherine, this has put Harry and Meghan in a predicament. Very, very tight corner with moving forward with their projects. Because surely after this, it is going to be very mean of them to go ahead with the whinging narrative and the victimization narrative of they don't like us, they've treated us like this. Because surely everyone in the whole world has acknowledged this message, has seen this message sat on this Instagram account. So many people around the world visit the royal family's Instagram account and Twitter. So this is a message everybody is has seen today. They've set their eyes on it. So it is going to be very, very interesting to see how Harry and Meghan carry forward with those projects of theirs. Okay. And this is going to actually, if they do so, I think that will be the last nail in the coffin with how
Oh,
people are looking at Harry and Meghan.
yeah, I
Okay.
think so. I think they're in a
Yeah.
delicate position. Look,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think much is going to change because
Mm,
Megan she does what a snake does, right? It's her nature. But she will become unhinged, and people losing control become quite dangerous. So I
mm,
think I think Harry's in quite a vulnerable position because they have successfully put a wedge between Meghan and Harry now because he wants to
mm.
come back.
He
He
has. He
has.
has constantly shown, according to reports, the home search or the house hunt here is going on.
Mm.
Okay. And the phone calls, trying to reach out to his father. Okay. We know some of those that have gone unanswered, allegedly. Big story we had recently of, Prince Harry wanting to come and celebrate his milestone birthday here, and with hope that he could reach out to Catherine and try and say, you know, I'm grateful that you're recovering well with the treatment, and maybe start to open up a line of reconciliation through Catherine. So these stories are coming out, and these are some
Yes.
of the channels sharing these stories are sort of Sussex based channels, media channels. So the signs are there and have been there from Harry of wanting to come back in some way, shape, or form. And now, this royal family message here of well wishes to Harry serves to stimulate those interests of Prince Harry even more, okay, of wanting to come
Mm,
back
mm,
even more. And where does that then leave Harry's relationship with Meghan? Because we know Meghan has always said, I will not go back to United Kingdom, come rain or shine, the way they treated me, and they haven't apologized to me, so I can't even go there until that apology comes. So with Prince Harry wanting to come back here and Meghan still insisting on staying there, this move is definitely going to put their relationship in a predicament, and Harry will have to choose a side. And with how things are going now, we can see that Harry is maybe 60-70% gravitating towards his family here in the United Kingdom. That has been very clear in his steps in the recent few weeks and months past. Okay.
Tegan says here, she makes a good point. I agree, but he's also a king, not just of the UK, but the Commonwealth, so he should put his personal feelings aside and be a king. I suppose where I'm coming from, Tegan, is uh, Harry, unless Harry seeks professional help, medical help first, because he needs to detox, and that's very painful and it's a lengthy process. It can take up to a year. But unless he goes down that path, Harry is going to be his own worst enemy. That's
Hmm,
my feeling. No matter what the king does to try and help Harry along his way, and it is a delicate balance that the king walks as the king. But unless he does that, uh, unless Harry does that, and unless he breaks ties with Meghan, because in a drug addict, there's always a codependent relationship, and that has to be broken right
hmm,
up front. And unless that codependency is broken and he goes into real rehab, he's just going to sabotage himself. That's my feeling. Sadly, that's the truth of recovery from addiction. And they are pretty messy, those two. They're seriously deep down that rabbit hole.
hmm.
But that's why I think the king, I wasn't sure. That's why I'm glad we've had this live because it's helped clarify my own thinking. But that's why I think they made the right decision. And the Wales, they have to support the king, but the staff did it, didn't they? And
We have
it was on
to,
the story. It wasn't on the.
absolutely.
It's not a tree that's been put in a corner there to grow. It's on the story and it's gone quickly.
They only have to support the king. That's rightly said. Okay, so it's the
Mm,
king's monarch going on. It's his reign. He's used his platform to shout out his birthday. So the right thing to do for the Wales was to share that in their story and
mm,
support the
mm,
king's aims, for the day. Otherwise, the Waleses could have put that up as a full post on theirs. Okay.
mm.
So we shall leave it there. But look here,
Yes.
Arroyo, Iota. So We've got Rosie is there. Rosie says they have found your
Yeah.
channel. Yeah, thank you so much, Rosie. Thank
Thank you,
you.
sweetie
Oh, wow,
darling.
yes. I'm looking at your channel here, and we
What
are
are the numbers?
74 subscribers away from
Oh my
1K. So you're gonna
gosh.
make a
Oh,
party when you get to 1K
yeah.
subscribers, yeah?
We have
It's
we
a
had a party on our
party.
last one for Catherine.
Yes,
Now the next party will be for this Catherine.
yes. So
Oh,
very well done, Catherine.
fantastic.
There, you've done so
Thank
well.
you.
So proud
Oh,
of
it's
you.
a hard
Pumping out
haul, I got to
these
tell
posts
you.
every day. YouTube is not an easy journey for
Oh, it's
and
very
Catherine.
difficult. Mm.
Catherine will tell you this because she has given it really a go in the last couple of weeks, and
Yeah.
only because she's very, very passionate. You have to be passionate to be able to run a YouTube channel. But you're doing really, really well, and
Oh,
in
thank
promoting
you.
King Charles's upcoming tour, fabulous. You are,
Well,
Catherine.
it's actually it's been with no small help from you because I would have just given it away. I don't think I would have stuck it out. And I'll change my strategy once I hit 1,000 because I'm putting two up a day, which is a lot of work. But apparently, it gets a bit easier when you reach 1,000. Easier in terms of YouTube pushes you out more.
Through
It's
recommendations, yes, it
and
does. Yeah.
it's been with your encouragement. That's the truth of it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have stuck it out.
Oh,
So,
thank you so much.
three cheers to Francis, girls.
All
Three
right.
cheers to
And
France.
our
I'll take a
incredible
bow.
fans here, our friends here, they've been with us
Yes,
from day one. Every time I put up a video, these are the same friends of ours who turn up to those videos
yes.
and leave comments. When you comment on a video, it's pushed out more. And every single one of you in these comments here, I'm so grateful because I see all of you in the comments on my video
Yeah.
posts. So if we do this as well on Catherine's, maybe we will get to push her videos out more and help her channel grow. But thank you so, so
Thank
much for that
you.
support. Yes. And going back
Tegan,
to,
Tegan asked about the baby. Tegan, he's doing very, very well. Thank you very much for asking. I
yes,
think he's
yes.
3 weeks this week. Yeah.
Yes,
So
Tegan.
you'll
Oh,
need
it's
Lisa.
awesome.
Oh,
And
yeah. Thank
Lisa.
you.
Hi, Lisa. How are you? She's joined the party here, Lisa. One of ours, Lisa, isn't she? She's also one of ours. Yes. Kelly, you're such. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. We are having, I mean, Kathy, is that Kathy? Yes. Thank you so much. Where are you? Uh, um, seeing this live stream from our dear friends. Are you within the UK? I know a few. Tegan is here in the UK. Baby Box, I think, is in United States. Lisa, please comment and tell us where you are seeing us from because this helps us to set
Thank you,
the right
Lisa.
time for the live streams. It's
Thank you,
been a
Sheila.
challenge because we are getting Catherine up from her cozy bed very early in the morning to do these live streams. Is it 6 p.m. where you are now, Catherine?
Let's see. No, it's eight nearly. It's 3 minutes away from 8:30. So it was a
Okay.
cozy bed today. I slept late
Yeah. Yeah,
today.
but you got up.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you.
Yes. So we've got Joe
Oh,
Vickers. Yes, love your lives. Your family wished an impersonal message to the Duke of Sussex. Well done, because and Kanko not sending greetings exactly. Thank you, Joe
Scotland.
Vickers, for that. Thank you very much. This
And
begs
Rosie's in Scotland. Rosie, she's in
have never
Scotland.
done this. Would Meghan and Harry have celebrated this if it was a milestone birthday for maybe Catherine or William?
We know.
You
Mm.
know, I doubt. So it is interesting to see how they want to be observed when they are not actually taking their time to observe because how many birthdays has Catherine gone through since Harry and Meghan left? And how many times have we seen them shout out those birthdays on their platforms? None. Okay, but
No, they don't. They're very
they don't.
rude.
But they expect the royal family to shout them out.
Mm, mm.
So that is what is perturbing many people out there. But the royal family, nevertheless, I think made the right call here. When you're in a position like they are in, you said that, Catherine, uh,
Mm.
it is very tough, and you choose the lesser tough, the lesser. So
Yeah,
this would have
yeah,
been the best decision they took, the best way they went about it. Because if they
yeah,
hadn't, I guarantee all these pro Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, channels would start blowing horns. Ooh, they don't like him. Ooh, they haven't
yeah.
recognized
Mm.
him.
It'd be
Milestone
a
birthday
social
that not
media
recognized
bloodbath.
by the king.
Yep,
Exactly. So
spot on, Francis.
they've gone the right way about it,
Mm, mm.
But it's easier to say on our side that, we wouldn't have celebrated it. We would have gone behind the scenes because, again, you can't blame us. Their missions against the royal family haven't been great missions for us to keep us excited. So why would we have given them this platform? But we will leave it at that.
Yes, I'm glad you
Congratulations.
did.
And yeah. Hmm?
Yeah, I'm glad you focused on this one because I hadn't processed it. I had mixed feelings, but uh, yeah, you've just because you're very. One thing I will say about you, you're really good at decoding what the royal family really are doing underneath all of that. I appreciated that. That there's a through line. There is a through line there, and I think you articulated that beautifully, Francis. So yeah,
Hmm.
thanks for that because I just thought, oh no, I don't want to have to think about this.
Yes. So let us keep our eyes open. Let's see what Harry does next, because that is going to be very interesting. And that
Yeah,
would be something that will finish Prince Harry off completely.
yes,
Because now
yes,
we
I
know the
agree.
texture the royal family have of Prince
Yeah.
Harry. Okay. So
All
thank you so
right.
much, dear friends, for a
Yes.
wonderful session we've had.
Oh, you're
Again,
a very
you
gracious host, Francis. I love your grace and humility. It's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you yourself, Catherine, for making the time always, waking up very early in the morning. I couldn't appreciate you any more than I have.
Oh.
And the
Now we're
wonderful,
becoming a mutual admiration society.
and our dear loved ones in the comments, thank you so much. We are organizing very soon, we will be a tea
Yes,
party of some sort. It's going to be, yes, tea party for this Francis Page Media community. And
yes,
Catherine is due to come to the UK for the Trooping of the Colour.
yes.
Yes.
That's definitely
Okay.
proceeding. Yes,
Yes.
yes,
So it would be nice to meet up with Catherine for
yeah,
the tea, afternoon tea somewhere in London. And if
yes,
our friends here in the comments could help organize this, and we all meet up for this
yes,
wonderful
yes,
moment as you know, we see ourselves, live face to face, because social media, we don't know who we are, behind those computers and what are they, desktops. It would be nice to see
yes.
ourselves.
I think so.
And
I look for.
yeah,
I can't wait. Actually, it's really yeah. But it's still. I haven't booked my ticket yet because I'm not sure. I'm going
of
to be away for a
the
month. I'm not
dates,
sure
yeah,
whether I will.
lecture
I'll
dates as
do it
well.
at the beginning or the second
The end
half
of
of this.
June.
So yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
definitely going to be there. Yeah,
Rightly, that's the
yeah,
right call, yeah, because these
yeah.
dates change. Sometimes it's,
Yes,
early or in the middle, in the
yes,
beginning or at the end, and also the weather, because a lot of the time they look at the weather and how it's gonna be on the day.
yes,
So, but once you have confirmed those dates, I think we shall try and see how we can arrange and
yes,
get
yeah,
that afternoon tea in London sorted.
yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks,
So
girls.
Catherine,
Thank you,
anything
girls.
you'd like to say to our wonderful audience here before we wrap this
Oh,
up?
just thank you for the gorgeous support. You're just such a lovely crew, and I agree with you. I mean, they're here because they love you, Francis, and it's been a joy actually. It keeps me company, once or twice a week at the early start of the day, and I just love reading the comments. I think that they're very intelligent, well thought out
Hmm.
comments.
Hmm.
So thank you,
Thank you,
girls,
Catherine. Thank
girls and
you.
boys.
Thank you. And please, again, check and see if you're still subscribed to our channels because YouTube has a way of unsubscribing people somehow,
Yes,
especially
thank you.
those that haven't visited videos and left a comment to show their activity within the past 6 months. Please do so that the channel still carry on with the growth that we have. Very, very
Oh,
great.
Lily Page, you're making me. I feel all emotional now. Thank you,
Oh,
Lily.
she's like she joined the party. Hi, Lily. It's great. Thank you so
She
much for
made me
joining the
cry.
party. Yes. Oh, she's one of ours, isn't she?
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you.
Lily. Wherever you are, which part of the world, the UK you are, we are very, very grateful. Thank you. Thank you. So,
Okay, so
okay,
yeah,
so should we finish this, our dear friends? It's
yes,
coming
we'll
to
see each
half
other
past
maybe next Friday night,
next Friday night or Thursday.
UK time. Yeah,
UK time, yeah,
yeah.
depending
You
on
just
what
let
big
us
stories
know.
come up.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
okay. But we'll be posting this again ahead of time to let you know that we'll be going live at such and such a time, won't we, Catherine?
Yes, we will. We will.
Yes.
Always, always. I
Okay,
love it.
then.
Okay.
Okay. From us
Bye bye,
here,
sweetie darlings. Bye
bye
bye. Bye
bye.
bye. Thank you for
Bye,
the
everybody.
subscriptions.
Thanks.
Bye.
Wow,
Okay,
brilliant.
Francis, I'll let you
Yeah,
hang up.
thank
That
you,
was a good
everybody.
live. That was
We
super
love
good.
this community.